How long has this project been in gestation? How long? When did the idea first come?
What, the Pride Trust or this? The Eleanor Cross?
The Eleanor Cross.
It's about 7 years old, this project now.
Wow. It's taken that long to get it off the ground.
It has. Funding, design, when Alan came on the scene, the Millennium. Basically started during the Millennium Build, didn't it? Yeah.
And it's quite exciting then that it's finally got to the point where we're just about to start. When does it officially start?
Well, we're hoping to actually get the Eleanor Cross in position for May. And to close the Mayor's year off in June with a Thanksgiving service here, which will launch the Eleanor Cross, the Eleanor Garden, and Cloister Walk. Maybe even the completion of the organ we'll soon see. So it's the end of a very exciting project, but the thing about the cross is it's restoring a cross that was lost in the Civil War in the 1600s. So it's a pretty important gift, really, to the city.
Yes, it is. It's hugely historical significant to the whole country.
It absolutely is. It's national significance. It completes the Eleanor Trail, which goes from Westminster Abbey all the way up through the remaining crosses to Lincoln here, and then back to Harvey, of course.
And Lincoln's been without it since the Civil War then? I didn't know that.
It was destroyed in the Civil War.
By the Roundheads, presumably.
Yeah, I should think it was. I should think it was the Cromwellians who destroyed it, definitely. So it's very significant, yeah. And the other very important point is that it restores it to the area of the city where it originally stood.
Yeah.
This building stands on the Priory complex, and we think it's actually stood on where the Priory Church was itself. So it's of great significance, very much so.
Yeah, fantastic. And the body would have laid in the church then, would it, overnight?
When the Queen died, the body was brought to St Catherine's and lay here for 4 days and 4 nights, whilst the lay sisters embalmed the body. The viscera was taken to Lincoln Cathedral, the heart was taken down to Blackfriars in London, and then after 4 days the King left with his retinue and with his Queen, and this great procession took place, which we now call the Eleanor Trail, and everywhere the body rested, of course, he ordered a cross to be built and commissioned.
Are all the other crosses still in place?
There are two that are perfectly intact as far as I recall, but I think the rest are marked.
Just with the original plinth stone, right?
Yeah, just the plinth stones.
So they were presumably all casualties of the Civil War then, perhaps?
I would imagine they are, and also, probably went out of favour, and the history of the whole event was forgotten in time, but it's very important now. It's been basically the Eleanor Trail, and interesting Queen Eleanor has re-emerged over the last 10 years or so. These take great significance. I think that one important thing to note is that this was the building where she actually was when she was brought to Lincoln, not the cathedral. The cathedral seemed to think that she went to the cathedral, but she didn't. There's no historical evidence to prove that. This is where she lay, and this is where she left.
Perhaps that's surprising.
This building's now got cathedral status in its own right, this building.
Has it?
Yeah.
It's perhaps surprising that she didn't lay in rest in the cathedral then. Perhaps this was more of a working place to manage the body embalming.
Well, no, I think the real reason was, what you have to remember is that this was a monastic house, and there were lay sisters, and next to the priory was a hospital of the Holy Sepulchre. Not the hospital in the sense that we understand them today, but nevertheless they had the expertise required to actually to deal with the embalming and deal with the whole process of preparing the body for its removal down. Whereas the cathedral was purely a church as such, I'll say, didn't have that facility at all. So I think that's the real reason why it came here. And the other point was that, of course, this was a tremendous size complex. I mean, the building itself would probably be the size of like Beverley Minster.
Oh.
It was St Hugh, when he first came to Lincoln, who actually said that it was a choice between the Minster Church up at the castle, which is what the cathedral originally was, or St Catherine's as to where his cathedral would be. The fact he chose Up Hill is now historically important. But
yes.
This was always a very important sacred site. Very important sacred site.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.